Wow. Am I frozen all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
there I am.
You're frozen.
That was the first time it's ever frozen on me. On my side. I'm like, why am I like this?
And it's always in the best position where you just look
I'm like, am I frozen?
Yeah. Embarrassing.
Okay. Let's do this. Hi, welcome back to the Rewatch Recap, where we recap shows for nostalgia and pure amusement. I am Dustin, here with my good friend Kay, and we're here talking Dead Like Me Season 2.
That's right.
Yeah, we're good in this. All right. It's been a little while. If you haven't noticed, I have a new background because I moved.
Yay. You've moved house.
I moved house. And then I got this thing. So you don't know, even if I leave again, you will never know. You'll never know where I went. I could be anywhere. Yeah, that's what's going on here. But we're talking about episode 4 of season 2. It's called The Shallow End. And it was kind of fitting. I just realized the title of this was, okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
All of it makes sense now. All of it does. I mean, I kind of thought, but yeah, anyway, we'll get to that. Mm-hmm. But this time around, Kay is taking over. But first, I'm going to do our previously on. So are you ready to take on this episode, Kay?
Perfect, because I didn't do one.
Okay, here we go. Previously on Dead Like Me, Daisy is finding religion. Roxy is becoming a tough cop. And George is back to her, I don't know, questioning ways. And along with Mason also being a complete up as usual. So
as always.
That's what you missed on Dead Like Me.
Yay! Oh.
Now it's opening title.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Grim Reapers are playing basketball and doing their bills.
Brushing their teeth.
Dun, 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 dun. Hey, look, it's George. I just totally hid behind the logo. But
Okay.
Okay, so take it away, Kay.
Here we go. The Shallow End. So we open on an underwater shot of 10-year-old George floating face down in a pool as she narrates, "Deep down, we all want to know if we're loved. It's the fundamental question. But when I was a kid, the question was even more basic. Does anyone even like me? I'm sure there's all kinds of theories on how to help girls get over their insecurities and self-doubts. But it takes a pretty twisted mind to think that swimming day is the answer. Thanks a lot, Mom." And Joy has taken George to a very crowded public pool and tells her to go say hi to a group of girls. And George is doesn't want to be there. She's being a 10-year-old George. And she tells her that she doesn't want to wear her pool floaties. And then Joy's like, "But you're a horrible swimmer."
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks. So she kind of awkwardly walks over to the girls. And you can tell that this is like the mean girl crowd. And they're kind of about to make fun of her. She kind of awkwardly walks up, but then they look past her and they see someone even less cool, Beth Ann Miller.
Oh, poor sweet little Beth Ann Miller.
Is she sweet though?
Well, we'll see, but still, at this point.
Yeah, little nerdy Beth Ann Miller.
Hi, George.
Yeah.
Hi.
She was pretty buff though. I'm like, I bet this kid's a gymnast. Beat up all these girls.
Who's got the gymnast bod? That's Kay right now.
Back in the present, at the last house, Joy walks into Reggie's bedroom and offers to take her to the mall to get a new sweater. And Reggie looks at her and says, "Yeah, that one is pretty tragic." And Joy's like, "I meant for you, Reggie."
No, damn. They're
Reggie.
so mean to each other.
They are. And I just love it's just ruthless and no F's given. So she doesn't want to go to the mall, but Joy says, like, some kids think it's cool to go to the mall. And she's like, yeah, because it's cool to steal lip gloss and smoke behind the food court. And Joy's like, fine, I'll get you a sitter. And to this, Reggie relents and decides to go to the mall with her mom.
Because she's what, 13, 14 at this point?
I would assume so, yeah.
Something
I can't
like
remember.
that? Yeah, you don't want to sit her.
Yeah, and I feel like in the first episode, they said how old she was, but I can't remember. At the Waffle House, Mason is giving Daisy a lesson on how Tiffany withholds the love from a patron, thereby giving her the power. And if people think you don't like them, they want it even more, he says.
That is so true.
Yeah, and you see like Tiffany ignoring a patron, and he's like, oh, and she ignores him again. And like, she's like,
it is a power grab. You got to find it where you can find it, you know. And she's a waitress, so she obviously doesn't have much opportunity in that area. So
yeah. So meanwhile, George is laying her head on the table, staring at a glass of water as she drops pennies into it one by one. And it's like the scene is funny because her eyes all like blown up from the like magnified from the glass. And she looks really
like
weird.
What's his face from Office Space? Where's my stapler?
Oh yeah, I have Milton.
Milton, yeah,
yeah. And Rube asks her if she would like to come out of the pool, and she says, "No, I like it here. We'll resurface for food." And Rube starts handing out the Post-its, and Mason's happens to be at a pool. He says how he hates pools, swimming, water, anything blue. And then Roxy shows up right at that time to grab her Post-it.
Hold on, wait. When he said anything blue, I was like, your last name is Blue.
That's right.
The first thing I thought was Callum Blue.
Callum Blue.
So you hate yourself?
Mason hates his real life. So, no, I don't know. Okay. So Mason says, now Roxy here is a classic withholder. She inspires fear through restraint. She says, I inspire fear through my 9mm and my penetrating gaze. And then, oh, God, love his dumbass. He's like, is that pepper spray in your belt? And she's like, it is. You want to play with it? And he like takes it. And
she knows he's going to mess it up.
Yeah. Sprays it on his eggs. And they're like, it's not actual pepper. And he's like, yeah, right.
It's chemicals.
Takes a bite, immediately starts like, oh my God. Grabs George's glass of water full of pennies, takes a big gulp of that, and then spits it all out over Tiffany as she walks up.
Oh, man, that would piss me off so much. Tiffany, I mean, the restraint.
I know. And she's like, that. He like pulls a penny out of his mouth. She's like, that better not be my tip.
For real.
So George leaves to go do her reap, and Daisy tells Rube that he withholds the love. And he says, how can I withhold that which I do not possess? It's like, you love all of them, Rube, and you know it.
Mm-hmm.
So next we see George show up at Happy Time, and she's got blood all over her jacket. And we get a flash to the reap that she just did, which was a man underneath like one of those riding mowers trying to fix it. And he was a little too successful, and it turns on, and you just see the blood splatter all over George.
Oh my God, yes.
His coat. But what's funny
is she should have learned that in the season 1 with the trash bags.
True. And also, like, take your coat off before you walk into the office.
I mean, yeah.
But I thought it was funny. The blood splatter from the actual scene is totally different from what it looks like when she shows up at work.
Maybe she tried to rub it out or something and it just made it worse.
Yeah.
Or maybe the blade kept spinning and there was more blood coming off of it later and we just didn't.
Could be. But she's walking through the office and everyone is staring at her. And she's telling them that it's a slushy or a Slurpee or whatever. And as she's walking towards a cubicle, she doesn't really look and she just flings her bag into her cubicle. And it knocks out some guy that's been sitting at her desk. And we learn that this is Ethan from Information Services, which is basically IT.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was like. Why are they calling it that?
Was it? I mean, maybe it was called
that. They were the computer guys.
Yeah.
That's IT.
Yeah. And he's been sent to clean up some bot that has been put on her computer that is sending out Nazi propaganda in her name from her email account.
The way I would have screamed bloody murder.
It's like, oish.
But the funny thing was, like, how she keeps going on about it.
Yeah.
And when she kind of shoves him, she was, I'm not a Nazi. She shoves him, but she's almost like she's doing a Heil. Like,
Yeah. George.
Watch what you're doing, girl.
So she stands up, like, she's like, who is getting these emails? He's like, oh, pretty much everyone in the office and like thousands of people across the world. So she stands up on her desk and she yells that she's not a Nazi. And Dolores is like, oh, Millie, this is nothing. You should have seen the tattoos I've had to have removed.
I know. No, she said something else later.
You're just like, all right.
I love the Doloresisms.
Dude, Dolores' lore
her bigisms, that's better.
Her bigisms, yeah. Her lore is just fantastic. All her little side, not quips, but like little things she says about her past life. You're like, I want to know this life you led, Dolores.
I want to see a young Dolores show.
That would be
I want to see. They got to get somebody who's just as good as her, though. Like, they have to get somebody good. Maybe that chick who played in The Good Place, who played Janet.
Oh, she would be good.
She'd be a good Dolores.
She'd be a really good younger Dolores. She's got that great comedic timing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ethan apologizes. Ethan, the IS guy, apologizes for being in her seat and tells her that everyone on the 5th floor where he's from was jealous that he got to work on her computer. So there's definitely lore around their office about George. And she proceeds to take advantage of Ethan's kind of, I guess, affection for her and puts him to work. Doing shit for her.
Oh, yeah. And she's like bossing him around. She's being mean, too.
Yeah, she's being really mean. And then she wonders like how she got so lucky and then realizes that being mean to Ethan was giving her the power, as Mason was describing earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So now we cut to Mason's storyline, and he arrives at another community pool for his reap, and the man forces him to change into the proper attire, which as he walks out is just his British flag undies.
And they never look clean.
No.
They don't.
They're like sagging because they're probably so old. And
they're so old and they've been worn so much, they just don't have the
elastic anymore.
It's so gross.
Yeah. But this pool is filled with a bunch of naked old men. And there's a group of them in the shallow end, all shooting the shit. And Mason's...
You really kind of just like completely gave that away, like full of naked old men. No, there's naked old men all over this pool.
Old men. Yes, at a public
and
community
one
pool.
Small child
who gets traumatized a little later.
Yeah, but I'm like, who is allowing this? Like, this is a crazy.
It's the early 2000s, man. But Mason's reap, Theo, is kind of holding court with this group of old men, telling them a story, which is really stupid. But once he's done, he decides that he wants to get out and dive into the pool from the high dive. And we kind of see a graveling lift the grate at the bottom of the pool. And Mason's sitting at the edge of the pool this time. And as Theo goes to get out, Mason kind of brushes his arm, taking his soul, and then exclaims, "Oh, my Jesus, your balls are huge." And Theo says, "God save the Queen." And we see the one little kid you mentioned, like look over and look terrified. And one of his friends are like, "Come on back, Theo, you're scaring the children."
I mean, my face was the same thing. I was like, yeah. It's like, it was horrible.
He's like, "Relax, son. They're just balls." Oh, man.
Oh, it's great. You know who that guy is?
I know he's on a bunch of stuff.
You ever seen Teen Witch?
The movie?
Yeah, with, I'm gonna be
top that.
Yeah.
Top that.
He was the teacher that was mean to her, that she made a voodoo doll of, and he went through the car wash.
Oh, okay.
And took off his clothes in the classroom.
So he likes taking his clothes off, this guy.
Apparently, that's like his thing as an actor. Do I take my clothes off? I'm in.
It's been a very long time since I've seen that movie. Is it? I wonder if it's streaming anymore.
Oh, yeah,
I should
it
watch
is.
it again.
It's
Okay.
like pretty much everywhere.
Okay. It's so bad. So anyway, he gets up on the high dive, and as he's up there, a graveling pees on the diving board. So Theo...
How crass are they making the gravelings
I
now?
know. They're just like, they're not even trying.
Mysterious anymore.
Yeah, it's just
They're
like...
supposed to like, oh, you're supposed to see them out of the corner of your eye, but we're straight up looking at them.
Yeah. And they're just little dirty little jerks.
Yeah.
But see, Theo slips on the pee and he lands, it looks like face first on the lower diving board, and it's just like thump and just
I know, it's just
instant
thwack.
dead. Yeah,
Just flat. Like, damn.
dead. And then dead Theo and Mason are kind of watching his body being put on the gurney, and he's like, no one can see me. And Mason's like, no one can see you apart from me. And he kind of looks down, unfortunately.
He's like, why?
Like,
Why am
how big are these balls?
I mean, it sounds like elephantitis, like...
Right? It was something like, probably not healthy. Yeah.
Right. It's probably a damn hernia, really, because that happened to me. I'm going to be honest. I had a hernia and it dropped down into my balls.
Oh, God.
And
they were
so,
huge?
like, every night when I slept, it went up, and so it looked normal. But when I walked, all of a sudden, it dropped right down in. It hurt.
You
And it
scared
ended up looking
children?
like grapefruit. That's how much it stretched it. Yeah. So I had to have that taken care of. There's a little personal information straight from Dustin.
Yeah. Well, save that info for later when there's a quiz on Dustin's life.
When I'm famous. Yeah. There you go.
But Mason looks at him. He's like, I just can't get over the size of your testicles. And Theo said, imagine that, Betty. I got a gay angel. And he goes, ew, I'm not an angel. Oh, or gay. So, like, first it was, I'm not an angel. And then, oh yeah, I'm also not gay.
So they kept saying Betty, and I was like, is it the same Betty?
Oh.
Because he kept talking to Betty, who had long passed. And I thought maybe it was like the girl that he loved way back when. And for the longest time. It turns out not to be, but still, I'm like, is it the same Betty? They should have done that. They should have connected them somehow.
That would have been cool. Because I kept thinking, I was like, Betty, wasn't that the name of?
Why would you use that name? It could have been any other name. Betsy, you know?
Yeah. Betty.
I don't know, but Betsy's kind of I don't know, that sounds like a bedwetter name. Betsy Wetsy.
Betsy the bedwetter.
Yeah.
So Theo's wondering if he kind of says they'll put a plaque up at the pool for him. Good friend, graceful swimmer, not a good diver. And then he tells Mason that he'll need a blue suit for his funeral. And Mason's like, you can't attend your own funeral. And he's like, look, pal, no one ever told me how to live, and I'm sure as hell not going to start listening now. I'm going to my funeral, right? I've been looking forward to this for years. So we've got a hanger on her, which I feel like Mason gets a lot of. Or there's that one old lady that he was in her house for like a couple days or something.
Yeah.
In the first season.
Yeah, they were hanging out because she fell dead in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then she was like, open up the back door and you leave so the wolves can eat me. Oh, the coyotes could eat me.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot why she was hanging on, but he was there for a while with her, I feel like. So now we're back to Daisy, and she is walking in to what we find out to be a plastic surgeon's office looking for the person she's supposed to reap. And she asks the receptionist, she asks the receptionist. Receptionist.
Can you ask the receptionist, can you help me, please?
Hey, receptionist. So she's looking for an S. Samuels, but there's no one who works there by that name. So she asks the ladies in the waiting room, but none of them are S. Samuels either. I need to talk slower.
And I was like, it's okay. It'll come out.
So she decides to schedule a consultation, and she gets a form and she sits down to fill it out. And she's sitting there. The woman next to her is kind of eyeing her up and down, trying to figure out like what plastic surgery she could possibly need. And she's like, it can't be the face. Like, how rude.
That's nice to hear, though, right?
Right. Come on. And then she kind of like looks down at her chest, and Daisy's like, no, these are just fine. And then she starts to like read the questions on the form out loud. Do you love you? And she's like, yes. Like the lady next to her is like, what the fuck?
What the hell question?
Right. do you deserve to love you even more? And she's like, well, I can't see why not.
I'd be totally the same way. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
I should love myself a little
Yeah,
more.
I absolutely need to. Now we're at the mall, and Reggie's ready to ditch Joy and do her own thing because Joy is embarrassing, according to Reggie.
Every mom
And
is embarrassing at the
yeah,
mall.
and
Come
if
on.
if she's 13, 14, let her roam around the freaking mall by herself.
Yeah, I mean, this is the early 2000s. Things were different then. People were a little smarter. But they're a little smarter, you know?
We hadn't de-evolved quite yet.
No, not right.
But she ends up in this kind of teen-like clothing store, kind of a Contempo Casuals Wet Seal, for those of you who remember that type of place. And this cool young sales girl kind of takes an interest in her, which is funny because Reggie's looking at something. She's like, you don't want that. You know, girls think that they have to dress slutty to get noticed or something like that. And like the girl herself is like, not to judge, but dressed a certain way.
Yeah, I'm like, that's what I didn't understand. I was like, but maybe that's what they make them wear. That's what I thought at first.
Yeah.
They make them wear that. She's like, don't buy this. This is not your style. Trust me.
And you can tell Reggie's kind of enthralled with her a little bit. And I'm getting the feeling like this is kind of the big sister I always wanted and never had, you know, paying attention to me.
I just realized I still had my AirPods in my ears.
I was
and I was like, why is she so muted sounding?
And
I'm over here just taking them out while you're talking. It's like, maybe no one will notice, but then someone's going to notice at some point. So that's what I was doing.
But yeah, kind of like the sister she never had out of George. And the sales girl takes a clip out of her hair and she goes to put it in Reggie's hair. She kind of jumps back. And then Reggie's like, no, it's okay. And she's like, oh, this is Iroquois. You kind of look something like Indian, but lighter or something weird like that.
Your hair's like Indian, but lighter. What
does that mean?
You mean not black? Because that's typically the color, like a straight up black hair.
So then what makes it Indian?
I know.
It's
straight
hair. I don't know. It was weird. But at that point, Joy walks in and she's like, Reggie, are you okay? And the sales girl's like, she's fine. I got her. And Joy just super bitchy like,
oh,
like,
you know,
okay.
like that was like, whatever.
Like daggers. She's like, okay, I gave birth to her, but you got her. And rolls her eyes and walks out.
But you got her. All right.
You got her. Okay.
Alrighty.
And the girl's like, my mom's like that too. Hypoglycemic, so she's totally like Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde. I've got to keep Triscuits around and just shove them in her mouth when she starts to wig out. To this, Reggie's just like, I love you.
I know, she's like, oh, great. You abuse your mom. That's great.
Yeah. You're so cool. Back at Happy Time, George is still kind of testing out her mean girl behavior. And she narrates, in a fair world, behaving like a complete asshole would make you really unpopular. But this isn't a fair world, and assholes have followers and disciples and assistants. The assholes are treated like kings. And as she's saying this, we're seeing footage of like Hitler, I think Stalin maybe, other various dictators, and the last shot is of Trump. Did you notice that?
What is it, 2001? 2002?
Yeah.
Whatever this was. What did I just say? 2004. It was 2004.
And I was like, that's weird.
Somebody knew something. Somebody's really telling you something back then.
Really, really weird. But yeah, I had to rewind it. I was like, was that it?
I know.
I was
like, wait a minute.
It was.
This just became really profound.
Yeah.
For being from 2004.
2004. And to be put in that, at that time, he was just a real estate guy, right?
Yeah. I think maybe
I don't know.
The Apprentice started already?
I don't know. I don't know when that was. But either way, not in politics at all.
It was very interesting to see this. Yeah.
Amongst the other people that were shown in that clip. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she's laying into Ethan for being on her phone with his friends from the fifth floor because they want to know what she smells like and what her eyes look like up close. It's just like creepy stuff.
I know. Like that's I mean, thanks for admiring me, but that is creepy.
Really, really weird. And she kind of thinks about how much fun she's having being mean, and being mean was cool. And we go back to see 10-year-old George at the pool again. And the mean girls basically dared her to go and untie Beth Ann Miller's swimsuit top. But like she couldn't do it. Right. And the mean girls tell her that she's dead.
Like,
yeah. Okay.
Why do people get like this? I mean, it's the power. They like having the power over people.
Yeah.
That's it. That's she explains it already. But like, why do you want to be an asshole?
I know, and there's always that one group of just assholes, especially at that age.
People think that it's better to be feared than liked. I'm like,
yeah.
No, I don't think that's not what you want. Trust me, because eventually the fear, sometimes bad things happen. People, with the fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate leads to suffering. So, and that's actually true. It's a true statement.
yeah.
So,
and I think a lot of times those people are like highly, highly, highly insecure and have going on in their personal lives that nobody knows about. And this is how they get, especially at that age. You don't know how to deal with that. You don't know how to like process things. So you
want
just
power.
Asshole.
Maybe you don't have power in another aspect of your life. And that's where you're getting at.
Still doesn't make it right to treat people that way.
No.
So now we're back at the plastic surgeon's office, and there are these two women that are just brutally insulting each other about their looks and the various procedures they've had over the years. And Daisy interrupts them to ask if either one of them is Mrs. Samuels. And one of them replies, "Mind your own business."
I mean, damn.
These girls were brutal.
It was like, what were their names? Sally and...
Oh, I don't know.
Susan. And they're like, "Hi, Susan. Hi, Sally." Like, oh, great. S names. That's great. Is your last name Samuels? Yeah, no.
Yeah, they were just really mean to each other. But then the man sitting next to Daisy says that he's Sam Samuels. And she's like,
Sam or Stan?
Oh, maybe it's Stan. Did I write Sam? I wrote Sam everywhere.
Because of Samuels, you just thought.
I think so.
No, it's Stan.
Yeah.
But okay.
It's Stan, that's right. I'll try to remember that as I read. Stan Samuels. And she just basically tells him she's from the insurance company and there's been a mix-up with his coverage. But he's kind of more curious why she asked for a Mrs. Samuels. And we find out that he will soon be a Mrs., he hopes. And Daisy kind of tells him, of course he will, and pats his
As she touches and takes his soul.
Takes his soul.
Her soul, actually, if you think about it. So.
Yeah. So the women are continuing to throw slurs at each other, and then one of them takes off her high heel to throw it at the other one, but horrible aim, completely misses the lady.
Over to the left.
Yeah. Misses her target and impales Stan right in the forehead with the heel. He did. She did.
I'm like, she just committed murder.
Yeah. And the other girl gives her like this snide sneer. Like
that's what I thought. Like
literally a dead person next to you now.
Now you're gloating that that she killed somebody, not you. Like, wow.
So crazy. Meanwhile, Joy is perusing the makeup counter where an attractive young salesman is kind of talking to her, and he shows her some lipstick options, and he holds up this like light brown, and he's like, "This is hate your husband, but willing to stay neutral." And then he holds up a bright red, and he said, "Already kicked his ass to the curb." And she just looks at him and says, "What shade is he's banging one of his students?" And he just kind of looks at her, is like, "So, like, what do you want, Joy?" And she's like, "I want the last 10 years of my life back." He goes, "I can do that." Okay, sales dude.
Okay, fairy godfather. Like, what's going on here?
For it?
I know. I'm like, I seriously got like, they're about to go to this restroom and bang vibes.
Right? Yeah.
I was kind of hoping for it for her, but she
That's
needs
what she needs.
A good deep.
Oh, yes. Yes.
She needs a good deep.
That's what Joy needs. We're back to George just wreaking havoc all over the office. She's snapping at people. She's being rude. She bumped into Crystal, knocking all these papers out of her hands, and then refuses to help her pick them up.
Oh my God. That was like I was like, oh, don't do that to Crystal. You know how Crystal is.
Right?
Crystal can be your best friend if you just treat her nicely.
Yeah. No matter what, you are nice to Crystal.
You never be mean to Crystal.
And she kind of realizes she's being reckless, but she narrates that nice girls don't get the guy. Nice girls don't rise to the top. Nice girls finish last. And then we see 10-year-old George kind of sitting on the edge of the pool all alone. And we go back to Theo, who's still only in a towel. And he's walking around with Mason, and they're kind of in a park or something. And he's trying to explain why he needs to move on and not go to his funeral. But he's not really listening. And he just takes his towel off and he's like walking around just completely naked. Like no one can see him, but he's just enjoying the fact that he's just in public being naked.
Yeah. We get to see old man ass.
Yeah. Just kind of.
It actually wasn't one of the worst old man asses I've seen, actually. You know what I mean? It didn't look as saggy as it could have looked.
Yeah.
He had a fit ass. I will give him that for an old man.
And how come we didn't see his balls?
I don't know if we wanted to, really. Well, did we really want to see that? Because it probably was like
curious. Kind of curious. Like, I want to see the balls. So Stan and Daisy are still in the waiting room, and he kind of sees her cross, and he tells her how his mom never stopped praying, but that a million Hail Marys never turned him into a girl. And then he asks if he can go to church one last time, and she's, of course, all for that.
No.
And then back at the mall, Reggie's done $195 worth of damage at the store, which at that time, that's
a lot.
A lot of clothes.
That was like, what? Oh, if you want to count for inflation, maybe 1,000 almost.
Could be, yeah.
You can get a lot of clothes for that amount back in 2004.
Yeah. But Joy has also done some shopping of her own, and she's got this cool new red leather jacket, and she's got that bright red lipstick on. And as they're walking,
relaxed her hair a little bit, frizzy it up just a tiny bit.
Like, how did she get all of this done in like half an hour?
That guy is a miracle worker.
He is. They probably have, department stores used to have
was
the
that
salon.
Sex hair?
No, she looked too put together for sex hair.
Well, the afterglow of sex,
I don't.
Looking really good and confident. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're walking to their car, and a kind of convertible kind of like pulls up and stops, and he looks at Joy and he says that you're hot, and she just goes off. But she liked it a little bit.
Oh yeah, at first I thought it was the sales guy that she talked to. I thought that was him at first, and I'm like, wait, what? But then because he kind of looks similar.
Yeah.
And I love how what she says to Reggie.
I forget. Remind me.
Didn't she say you look like you're a sales or a sales lady or
a weather lady,
a weather girl or weather lady,
or
news anchor,
something like that,
a news reporter. That's what she said. You look like a news reporter, and she goes, "News reporter, my ass." Like,
get it, Joy. Joy got her groove back.
Yeah, Joy got her groove back.
At Happy Time, Ethan has put together this huge binder for George of something or the other. I don't know what, but he's filled it with a bunch of Post-its, which she freaks out about. And
he was
I don't
using them
like
as tabs.
Post-its. Yeah. And then he shows her this origami swan that he made for her, and she proceeds to just squash it with the binder on accident. But
she's not looking when she sets down the binder.
Just smush. And then she's starting to realize that being mean isn't really getting her anywhere, but neither is being nice. And just then Crystal walks by her desk and knocks over a huge stack of papers into her cubicle.
The papers that she sat down on the edge.
Yeah.
So he goes, that's what you get.
And Dolores is kind of behind her and says that back in the days when I had all those restraining orders against me, I thought hate was the answer.
Back in the days when I had all those restraining orders.
God, we need this series. We need the series. So she said, back when I had all those restraining orders against me, I thought hate was the answer. Sometimes when I have to choose between a bullwhip and a smile, I choose the smile. And George looks at her and is like, that's one of the first things you ever said to me. You said, I haven't seen you smile once. And Dolores is like, I don't think so. I said that to another young girl. Lovely young girl. Tragic what happened. And George is like, oh, shit, that's right. That was my other self. And then she lets her know that Ethan has just quit, that he wasn't cut out for the corporate cutthroat culture. And then Stan and Daisy are now walking through a park, and he's admiring Daisy's beauty and the ease at which she has at being a woman, and how he wished he would have looked in the mirror and seen a face like hers. It's all really sad. Like,
Yeah.
Stan's story is sad. And she told, I don't know, like, I don't want to be incorrect here. Should we refer to Stan as her? Even though he hasn't transitioned? Yeah.
You can say they, if anything.
They. Okay, I think I've been saying him. I will try to be better and say they going forward.
We're in 2004 mindset, guys.
Yeah.
So we were back in 2004.
Yeah.
We did a time travel thing with this show. So,
and like as of now, he's presenting male.
Correct.
Even though he wants to
pre-transition.
But I will try to use they. So how they wished they would have looked in the mirror and seen a face like hers, and she told Stan that they would have made a good woman. And she asks why he wants to go to church, and he says, because that's where you talk to God. Now we see Reggie in her room, and she's admiring her new outfit in this full-length mirror when Joy walks in and compliments her. It gives her a compliment, but then Reggie just continues
she looks
to
like
be
a
a
young
bitch.
woman. Right.
Yeah. Reggie says something bitchy. She leaves. It's like, Reggie, come on.
Could you have knocked when you come in, please?
Oh, yeah.
I'm busy. Please leave.
Poor Joy. Like, Joy's a bitch, but sometimes she tries and she gets like nothing in return. But
but she's a bitch all the time, which is why her daughter acts that way.
Well, her daughter's also a hormonal teenage girl who are just bitches. Because I know I was one. At Der Waffle House, Theo walks in, showing off his giant balls to everyone that can see him, which completely traumatizes George. And Mason goes over and begs Rube to talk to Theo to try to convince him to move on. And Rube finally agrees, and he kind of takes Theo over to a booth, and George is still just totally grossed out by the balls. But Roxy assures her that they aren't all like that. Some are worse.
But she's like, those are my first pair of balls to see.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? You haven't seen any kind of balls before?
Well, when would she?
I mean, I'm not talking about like a human pair, but like other animals have balls that kind of look like, human balls.
Just, I mean, she was probably just thinking
furry
human balls. Human balls can be furry.
But yeah, not like that.
Yeah. So George asks Mason if he cares if people like him, and he says no. And he pauses for a second, and he's like, starts to spin out, and he's like, wait, why? Did Daisy say something? She's like, automatically assumes. I know. Automatically assumes Daisy has said something bad about him. And then Roxy starts to chastise him for basically running from his problems always, and tells him that he could use some of those balls. And this actually causes Mason to grow a pair. And something kind of dawns on him that was said earlier, and he goes over to the booth where Rube is trying to convince Theo to skip his funeral. And Mason realizes that Theo's wife, who he's been referencing throughout the entire episode, Betty, is actually dead. So he asks Theo, like, how long ago did your wife die? I think he said 7 years or something like that.
Yeah,
and
that's
Mason,
what I'm damn, it's not our Betty.
Yeah, not our Betty. She lived to be an old woman. And Mason's like, isn't she the one that you really want to see? Like, she's not going to be at your funeral. And Theo says how much he misses his wife, and he finally agrees to move on. And Mason gets up with him, and they start to walk away. And Rube kind of looks slightly impressed with Mason.
Well, good for you, sir. Yeah.
Now we're back at the church. And I think Daisy thinks Stan is going there to pray or, be spiritual. And they just immediately start yelling at God, calling him a bastard and a hypocritical, no good, backstabbing, judgmental. And he's trying to pick up something to throw at the
hymnals and
altar, pulpit. Yeah. I don't know what you call it. And he said, you said we're all God's children, except the freaks, except for me. And it's like, it's so heartbreaking. You can tell even Daisy's heartbroken.
This whole episode was very relevant.
Yeah. And, he asks Daisy, he wants her to throw a Bible, because they can't. Yeah. She's like, I can't do it. I can't, because she's Catholic now.
Yeah, I'm not going to that's just disrespectful in general. But
Yeah. And they say, why would God do this to me? And she says, do what? Have you died this way? And they say, have me live this way. God doesn't love all creatures, Daisy. I'm just like, I just want to cry. It's so sad. And Daisy tells them that they should pray. And they say, I want to forgive him, but I want him to tell me that he's sorry first. And just then a rock comes through one of the side windows, and this causes Daisy to basically run out to see who's throwing rocks at the church. And she yells at him, "You hoodlums!" or something like
you
that.
hoodlums.
You hoodlums. But
Or
as she runs,
hooligans? Or she say hooligans.
yeah, something like that. Hooligans! But as she's doing that, Stan is looking up at the large stained glass window, and we start to see his lights appear, which we haven't seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
The lights appear basically as Jesus kind of opening his arms, welcoming Stan in. And Stan passes on, moves on.
While Daisy's outside.
Yeah. So she comes back in looking for them, and they're not there. So she kneels to pray and says, "Blessed art thou amongst women," and kind of like side eyes herself, kind of gives herself a little smile. And then we hear George narrate. I don't know exactly what makes people cross over. I mean, souls. I think they see light where others cannot. I think they see a chance to become something else, someone else. And we see Reggie in her cute new outfit back at the mall. And George continues, some people are becoming who they're going to be. We see Roxy picking up her Post-it from Rube. Others are just trying to be anything but who they are. Then we see Joy trying to pick a lipstick, and others just can't decide. And then we see Reggie. She sees the same sales girl pulling the same hair clip spiel on another girl, and she's just like, God damn it. Takes the clips out of her hair and madly walks away. And the narration continues. Everyone wants to be like, I know I did, but I knew I was still looking for something, for someone, for light, and I had no idea where I'd find it. We go back to see young George standing at the edge of the pool when Beth Ann Miller walks up, says hi, and then pushes her into the pool, egged on by the mean girls.
Beth Ann Miller is not a strong person.
Nope. And then we see George fall into the pool, and we're back at that opening shot of the episode. And she says, when I was 10, something happened to me, and something happened to Beth Ann Miller, and it changed both of our lives forever. And as George is staring at the bottom of the pool, we see two gravelings, and one starts to go for her, but the other one stops it and kind of whispers in its ear, and George is just staring at these, and she kind of has a little smile on her face. And they look at each other for a moment, and then the gravelings turn around to go back into the pool drain as lifeguards come to fish George out of the pool. End of episode. So, did she become a Reaper because of this? Did the Reapers know she was going to be a Reaper, and so it's like not her time?
Not yet. No. Yeah. So, was that what they were talking about? Like,
yeah. But it was
because that other one the one that was going to go for it, kind of stops and kind of gives a little smile, a little tiny little bit of a smile. Yeah. Like, it's interesting.
It was an interesting episode.
So, what was your funniest moment or line of the episode?
I have a couple of them. Another one is a nice little Dolores Herbigism when George discovers Ethan at her desk, and Dolores rushes over and she's like, I wanted to be here to introduce you to Ethan, but Andy in personnel has carpal tunnel in both hands. He can't even pee by himself. Anywho.
I know. What? He can't pee by himself.
Was she helping him pee?
I know. That's what she was saying. But he had carpal tunnel and he can't pee by himself.
Yeah.
Anywho. Oh, I can't remember all mine, but okay. So definitely the whole all that when I had all my restraining orders. That time I had all my restraining orders.
Like, how many
What?
did she have?
And were they all from the same people? Was it
Oh,
like
just a group, a slew of people? She's
yeah, like
stopped her.
I'm very, very concerned.
Yeah.
And also the whole, we're gonna go shopping for a new sweater. Yeah, that one's seen better days or whatever she said. Like
It's tragic.
yeah, that
That's
one's
pretty
tragic. She's like, I'm talking about for you.
There is another funny moment in the plastic surgeon's office when Daisy goes to fill out the form and the woman's like, what insurance do you have? And she's like, I have SAG. And the lady's like, oh, we can help you with that. And she's like, no, Screen Actors Guild. She thought she needed like a tummy tuck or something.
Yeah. No. Okay.
I had just one more quick one. Like,
go for it.
As Rube and Theo were in the booth talking and George is leaving. And she's like, bye, Rube. And Theo's like, oh, can she see me? And Rube's like, yep. And she'll never be the same for it. He's just traumatizing everybody he comes in contact with.
Oh, I don't want to see his old big balls.
I kind of want to.
I kind of want to for like just curiosity, but at the same time I don't because it scares me.
Yeah.
Okay, so our best character in this episode and why?
I actually picked Mason.
Really?
Just because he had that moment of growth at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And he just had a lot of funny moments this episode with the pepper spray. But him, like, kind of talking about the power dynamics and kind of understanding that whole thing. But then at the end, growing a pair and realizing that he had what it takes to get his guy to move on. I don't know. I just like the little growth moment for Mason.
Yeah. I kind of like I'm kind of on Daisy's side in this one because of how gracefully she spoke with Stan and accepted them for who they were and was trying to talk them down a little bit, like in a graceful way, like, well, they say this, and they say that, and that's just trying, and I'm not going to be disrespectful on your behalf kind of thing. I can't do that. Yeah. But I thought that was really classy. And then at the end, the little whole, company among women, whatever you say. That, I thought that was neat. So
I really like Daisy this season.
Yeah, Daisy has
hated her season 1.
Well, she started getting better toward the end of season 1, but that for like the last few episodes, but definitely much better this season. So okay, worst character in this episode. So I am gonna go with George.
Yeah, George sucks.
George sucked in this episode. like, damn, George, you're just being horrible to people.
Yeah, she definitely sucks. But she's also still a child herself.
Yeah, she bullied this guy out of a job.
I know.
Oh my God. And Dolores she enabled it too, kind of in a way. She was like,
yeah, she didn't stop it.
Because she's like,
she saw it happening.
Why, he left and, why I had a bad day. She's like, no, he had a bad day. Like, that's true. You gave him a bad day. You just made it worse for him. So.
I understand George. That would have been my second choice. I went with Beth Ann Miller.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Of that little bee.
Yeah, I like George in the past, but not this episode's George now. But Beth Ann Miller, what?
Come on, girl.
Turned on your friend on a dime.
Yep.
Damn. Peer pressure. Okay, from 0 to 5 Gravelings, how many are we giving this episode?
I initially gave it 3.5, but I feel like when I rewatched it today, before we recorded, I might bump it up to a 4.
Yeah, that's what I put.
I think watching it without trying to take notes and kind of getting the whole picture, I think it just sat better with me. I think there was a lot of really good moments. There was a lot of prophetic moments.
I mean, not just like there. So you have we have a trans storyline. We have a mention of fascism and imagery of current leader. And that wasn't in that position or even more near that position 20 years ago. Which is just weird. So it's like, sorry, not just Simpsons who did it. Sorry, not just Simpsons.
Yeah.
There are more. There's actually been other things too that have shown that kind of stuff. It's like, who knew and why were they trying to warn us? They should have done a better job.
It's the Illuminati. They had a plan.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. Maybe. Allegedly.
Yeah. Please don't
speculation. That's all we're saying.
Conspiracy theory.
We're cuckoo. We don't know anything.
I'm just a dumb girl.
So that's our episode for Dead Like Me, episode 4.
Just a fun episode.
Fun episode, just a good one. No need to say anything to anybody about it, except for hey, listen to the show. That's about it.
Yeah. So
come back next week for episode 5, and we will hopefully be here, still be around.
They were never heard from again.
Why did that show just stop? What happened to them? We recorded the episodes, maybe. We don't know.
What? Oh, God.
I just dropped my phone. It's okay.
Can you play Haunted?
Anyway. Okay. So, come back next week, and we'll be on episode 5. And, keep watching Dead Like Me and keep tuning in. Bye, everybody.
Bye.